Howdy. Happy Wednesday. Listen. I believe wholeheartedly that it took 2 years for me to find out about your irreprehensible hatred, intolerance even, of strawberry milk. Because people don't talk about things that they're ashamed of, you know? I know that there's a shame deep in your heart. And it's okay. It just means that I know that you know that it's not okay. How's everybody doing? 2 full entire years being subbed to me, Zambi. Congrats. And thanks. Declan, I'm back after like 6 months. Had surgery and shit. Well, I hope that all went very well. Seems you still have the ability to type, so welcome back. We're glad to have you. That's true. Zambi did throw her shirt in the toilet, so that's the compass by which we can judge you know, the mental capacity of folks who hate strawberry milk. How you doing? Red Rock Rabbit? Zambi Jamie? Cool. And everyone in between? Yeah, she just really hated that shirt. She threw it in the fucking toilet. Just went right in the toilet. I'll give you this. You know what? I'll give you this because now that I'm thinking about it, it is truly the most hilarious thing that happened to me. This is gonna make you feel better about your shirt in the toilet, Sam. I promise. Let me get settled here for a sec. You guys are gonna love this one. So, I know it's hard to imagine, because I am a completely gorgeous, angelic, polite young woman. But a few times in my life, I have in fact pooped. I poop sometimes. Okay. Get that confession out of the way. Sometimes. Well, a couple weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, on such occasion in which I did indeed drop logs, drop some kids off at the pool. Let's see. How did it go? I did my duty. Stood up, turned around. And all the other stuff that you're supposed to do in between, okay? I don't want you don't lawyer me thinking that I just admitted to not wiping when I poo, okay? But I did all that, everything I needed to. Stood up, turned around to flush. To start, the handle on our toilet had gotten a little bit loose. Not exactly sure how, because there shouldn't have been any real, like, twisting motion. It should have been just, like, a push down, you know? It had gotten a little bit loose. Not exactly sure how, because there shouldn't have been any real, like, twisting motion. It should have been just, like, a push down, you know? It had gotten a little bit loose. Not exactly sure how, because there shouldn't have been any real, like, twisting motion. It should have been just, like, a push down, you know? It had gotten a little bit loose. And I guess by this point it had gotten so loose that just the act of me pushing it down was enough for it to actually disconnect and like fly off the whole handle to our toilet, the flushing handle. So it flies off. And I want you to imagine, I want you to picture this in your brain of a human being accidentally pulling the handle off of a toilet. I want you to think about the trajectory and the stance and all of that. And imagine what should have happened. You know? Like, I either still hold on to the handle and I look at it and go, oh, darn, I need to put that back. Or we need to get a new one or something like that. You know, that's scenario 1. Scenario 2, I drop it, I let go because it's like, oh gosh, I've been surprised by this turn of events. So I've let go of the loose handle and it just drops straight down to the floor. Scenario 2, totally plausible. No, my friends, I did not find myself in scenarios 1 or 2. I found myself in a third nightmare scenario. The handle went directly into the bowl. Into the toilet. Okay. Now, even then, I want you to picture, try to picture the angle at which this handle would have gone into the bowl were it to go into the bowl. So if I'm holding it like this, I kind of, you know, if I would have given it a flip, you know, maybe it was, you know, sideways is what I would have imagined, you know, long ways falling into the bowl. But before we get to that, okay, I'm sitting here going, you know, and don't, if you think that in the process of flushing and accidentally breaking the handle off, that the actual flushing mechanism occurred. No. The bowl is very much still occupied with undesirables, okay? Unmentionables. It was a fibrous day of meals. Okay. This wasn't a polite visit to the toilet. And all of it is still there. I have broken off the handle. It has gone into the bowl. Lay down with dogs, get up with fleas, all of that. Like, of course I don't want to use my hand or anything and reach in and find the handle to retrieve it so that future persons could use the toilet, right? So I can't remember what we ended up deciding. It was like, because it wasn't going to be like any dishes. Because at first I thought, I was like, oh, maybe, I don't know, tongs? But I don't want to use any of the tongs. They'd have to be thrown away after. Like, what do I do? I can't remember what we figured out. I think it was that, like, I was going to try and, like, fish it out with a screwdriver or something. Or, well, the actual toilet brush, too, was an option. Because as I mentioned before, so we're in scenario 3, right? Scenario 3 can go one of two ways. Either the handle is still floating around and largely camouflaged because it actually was like almost like a very long football shaped, like brown brass handle. So, you know, first you have to like determine which unidentified floating object. UFO. You have to decide which UFO is the handle. So scenario 1, it's still close enough to the surface that it can be retrieved, that it can be seen. That's scenario 3A. Scenario 3B, somehow this handle contorts itself in the process of falling and becomes a torpedo. It becomes a missile projectile, and it just shoots straight through the middle of the tube, the pipe, 100% out of sight. Absolutely gone. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm trying to explain to Tiger what happened. And as I'm getting to each part of the story, it just gets more and more ridiculous. Like, how the fuck did that happen? How could all of those things in that order possibly happen? And so he goes, there's really only one thing left to do. I said, I think you're right. And we both knew. We both knew what had to happen. And some plumber, some sewage worker is going to curse my name someday, because you bet your sweet, perky little ass that I flushed that handle straight down the toilet. And we bought a new one. It's swimming with the fishes now. The fishes and the baby Ruths. So that's my story. Let's play some Long Dark. That's my tragic toilet mishap. It's like, how? Logistically, how did all of those things happen? I may never know. I also may never know how far the handle even got on the way to where it was going. No idea. But the good news is Astrid doesn't poop, so I should never have that problem in this game. Which is one of the reasons that it's so comforting. Oh, was it just the sleeve? See, I pictured the entire toilet, the entire shirt just in the toilet bowl. And even that, though, it's like, the shirt comes off. What are the chances that it winds up exactly in the toilet? Can I tell chat? Yeah.